The United States of America, most powerful country in the world, and the President of the United States is literally the most powerful man in the world. But do you know how the US President is elected? The US presidential election is different from other US elections in which representatives and senators are elected. They are elected directly by popular vote, meaning whoever secures the highest percentage of votes wins. But the president and vice president are not elected directly by citizens. They are chosen by electors through a process known as Electoral College, a complicated process which we will discuss in this video. For more video like this, please subscribe to the channel and also press the notification bell. Never miss an update. Before moving on to our main topic of this video, let's understand some basic points about the legislation of United States of America. First, the United States Congress consists of two legislative bodies. Lower house is called the House of Representatives and its members are simply known as representatives. The upper house is called the Senate and its members are known as senators. Representatives are elected for 2-year terms and senators are elected for 6-year terms in a direct election, as we said earlier. These representatives and senators are collectively known as electors or members of Congress, who chooses the president on behalf of every citizen of the USA. Another point you should understand is that the United States of America is a federal country and it is divided into 50 states and District of Columbia, also known as DC or Washington, which is categorized as capital city and it does not come under any state jurisdiction. The US has 14 incorporated, unincorporated, organized, unorganized territories in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, but only citizens of states and District of Columbia has the right to vote in the US presidential election. Now let's understand the electors. There are total 538 electors. A candidate needs to secure the support of at least 270 electors, more than half of all electors, to win the presidential election. But how this number 538 is achieved? Well, each state is divided into districts based on their population and each district has one representative to the House of Representatives, the lower house. Currently, there are total 435 representatives in the US and every state has 2 senators irrespective of population. That means total 100 senators and District of Columbia sends 3 non-voting representatives to the Congress. So, in total 435 representatives plus 100 senators plus 3 non-voting representatives from DC equals to 538 electors. Now let's get to the point how the president is elected and what is Electoral College. In every 4 years, Tuesday next after the first Monday in the month of November, the presidential election is conducted. After a year-long process of primaries, caucuses and political conventions, parties elect their presidential and vice presidential candidate. And on election day, people cast their vote for any of these candidates. That vote goes to a statewide tally. Whoever gets the majority of votes in that state gets all the electoral vote for that state. In this process, whoever secures 270 or more electors countrywide wins the presidential election. And this system is known as Electoral College. A projected winner is announced on the night of voting and in mid-December, electors meet at their respective states and chooses the president-elect. Next year, on January 3rd, the president-elect is sworn in as the President of the United States. Let me give you examples or you will still be confused. Let's take the state of California, most populous state of the US. Based on its population, California is divided into 53 districts. So it has 53 representatives and 2 senators. So in total, California has 55 electors. And the candidate with highest percentage of people's vote or popular vote get all these 55 electors irrespective of each elector's own party. Means these 55 electors may belong to different parties. It may be Republican, Democratic or any other party, but during presidential election they all will be counted as one unit, electors. Next, Alaska, the largest US state but third least populous state of the country, has one district, means one representative and 2 senators. So in total 3 electors, and whoever wins the popular vote in the state of Alaska secures 3 electors or electoral vote. By the way, US Constitution does not require electors to follow their state's popular vote. It means if a candidate wins majority of the vote in a state, electors can decide other way and they can choose another candidate with lesser vote percentage, declining people's mandate. But it has happened very rarely. On 3 instances in 1800s and in 2000 and in 2016 presidential election, a candidate has won the Electoral College or presidential election but lost the popular vote. As you have seen, bigger states with larger populations has more number of electors than states with smaller population. In 2016 United States presidential election, Republican candidate Donald Trump got 46.1% of popular vote all over the country, but secured 303 electors or electoral vote, and Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton got 48.2% of the popular vote all over the country, but managed to secure only 227 electors or electoral vote. Same thing happened in 2000 election, where Republican candidate George W. Bush won the Electoral College but lost the popular vote to Democratic candidate Al Gore. So now you know how complicated the US presidential election or the Electoral College is, and the President of United States of America is not directly elected by citizens. Another point you should know, if there is a hung election, meaning none of the presidential candidates got the majority mark of 270 electoral votes, then what happens? Well, in that case, House of Representatives or the lower house chooses the president from top 3 candidates, and Senate, the upper house, chooses vice president from remaining 2 candidates. And it happened once. In the 1824 US presidential election, none of the presidential candidates, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, William H. Crawford, Henry Clay, secured the majority electoral vote, but Andrew Jackson got most electoral and popular vote, but House of Representatives chose John Quincy Adams as the President of the United States of America. Well, that's it for today, and please like, share and comment your views or questions below. We will love to hear from you. Please subscribe to the channel. A sub would greatly motivate us. Thank you.